Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. I want to say before I get going that this is the first time I've used Canva Present and basically recorded through Canva. Now, I'm hoping that I can get these videos to be a lot clearer and a lot better, but bear with me. I'm a little tech non-savvy, I'll say, and it's just going to take me a little bit to get going. I do want to provide long form videos though instead of just shorts, because I do want to basically dive more in depth with certain topics, especially housing market updates, because I feel like a lot needs to be discussed and there's a lot more than just looking at numbers. So today's video is about the Las Vegas and Summerlin housing market update. We're going to start with Summerlin in a couple of different areas, and then we'll move into Las Vegas. But basically, what we're going to be looking at today is median sales price, median days on market, homes for sale, and basically percent of list price versus sales price. And these are kind of my four key metrics that I like to look at and kind of get an indication of what the market's doing. Probably my number one thing I like to look at for buyers is homes for sale and the percent of list price. And then when it's sellers, I like looking at days on market. And I also like looking at median sales price because we get an idea of kind of where things are going. Are things trending up? Are they trending down? Or are they staying put? So let's just dive right into it. So Summerlin as a whole, now this is just for single family homes. This isn't for condos, but this does include single family homes for resale and new construction. The median sales price is $692,500. Now, this is up from $577,500 this time last year. So that's a 19.9% increase. Now, that doesn't mean that homes prices have all went up 19.9%. There might have been something going on that month. But when I look back of kind of like where the lows are, that's the second lowest median sales price month that we had over the last 24 months, right? So obviously past the height. But the lowest point was, I think, February 2023, and it was at like 511,000. So that November through February was pretty much the low of the market. And now we're starting to trend back up. So Summerlin in general, 692,500. Now the median days on market is 16. Now this is down from 42 this time last year. So what that means basically is homes are going on the market and off the market a lot quicker. Now, are they going off as fast as they were during the pandemic, 3 to 4 or 5 days? No, 16 days. But for sellers, this is a good thing because if you're looking to list your house, you're not going to have to wait a month and a half to get an offer. And for buyers, it's actually still not a bad thing because you still have 16 days to get out there, look at the house, decide if it's for you or not. And also that number indicates that there's less competition because basically if there was more competition, if there was multiple offers, they probably would be going off the market even faster within probably a week. But now we're at 16 days. So that's a good thing. So buyers still have plenty of time. Now, I do anticipate this to lower as we head into the spring, especially with interest rates coming back down. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not going to get to the 3% range. But as they get into the 6s, the 5s, yeah, we're going to see more buyers enter the market because things are going to become more affordable again to them. Now, houses for sale was at 335 November 2023. Now, in November 2022, it was actually at 786. So as you see, there's a lot less homes for sale. So this impacts inventory and kind of why we've seen this price go back up, even though the rates are really high. Yeah, there's less buyers, but there's also way less houses for sale. So I anticipate the number of homes for sale to go back up as we head into the spring. That's when people a lot of times list their properties. But nonetheless, I don't think it's going to be these crazy inventory numbers either because this is really, really low. So, yes, less buyers, but less homes for sale as well. So sales price versus list price is at 98.6%. So the good thing is buyers aren't paying 100% of list price. They're paying 1.4% less actually. So this is a good thing. And that doesn't even include like any price drops, right? That's just the current list price when they make the offer and what it sells for. So good step to look at for buyers, kind of getting an idea of like, especially if you're one-on-one with a seller, like, are you sending a low ball offer? Well, it depends. Is it 10% lower than list price? Yeah, probably. Is that realistic? Maybe. It could be depending on the house if it's way overpriced. But a lot of times that probably would be unrealistic because a lot of houses are only going for the median amount of houses. The average house is only going for 1.4% less than the list price. So the median sales price at new construction is $778,400. Now, this is up huge, right? This is up from 511, 500 this time last year. Now, that doesn't mean that home prices for new construction have went up 51.9%. My guess is a lot of the new construction sits in Summerlin West and Summerlin South. And I would guess that most of what was being sold was likely, a lot of townhomes, maybe even some of Highline 1, Highline 2, and Woodside homes that basically were all less than 600,000. That's just my guess. Maybe during that time, the luxury market, the higher end homes, the 800 to a million plus, weren't selling as fast during this time last year. So that's why we have this discrepancy, basically. Now, median days on market is 37. So things are taking a lot longer to go off the market in the new construction, which is pretty understandable, especially with build times and such. And the homes for sale was 29. Now, I can tell you this, there's a lot more than 29 houses for sale, new construction houses for sale. But what happens is a lot of times the new construction builders only input a certain number into the MLS. They don't have like all the lots that are available for people to purchase and build. Okay, so a lot of that's just because it's based on the MLS numbers. So nonetheless, it still gives us an indication of kind of what's going on, because they are listing basically their move-in ready homes, and they'll list a lot of times the home that's being released next. So it's still good information. It's just not the whole picture. Now, sales price versus list price is 97.2%. Now, this is less than resale. So, something I get, and this is kind of related to this, is a lot of times people ask me, hey, Derek, a lot of people call me Shock. Hey, Shock, like, I'm looking to buy a new construction home. Do I need to use a realtor? And no, you don't need to use a realtor. Do I recommend it? Yes, because at the end of the day, the sales associate on site is representing the seller. They have the seller's best interest at heart. Now, if you're being represented by myself or another realtor, we have your best interest in heart. We're going to be able to negotiate with them. That's not to say you can't negotiate one-on-one with a sales associate, but we're going to have a lot more information. I mean, I can look at a lot of different sales that were never inputted into the MLS that were new construction through Realist, and find out what homes are actually selling for, what floor plans that you're interested in are actually being sold for, so that you don't overpay. And I think that, like, what you'll see here is that 97.2%, which is lower than 100%, obviously, is going to happen more likely if you have representation, because that realtor is going to negotiate and be like, no, that floor plan that you're trying to sell to my client actually sold for this instead of what you're saying it should be selling for. So there's that. And also there's closing costs, right? So a lot of builders will, maybe not, they'll hide the fact that they're going to be offering you closing costs right out the gate. In this last market over the last 12 months, they've been pretty transparent about that because they're trying to get buyers. So obviously they were like saying, yeah, we'll pay 3%. Now, I will say this, a lot of times they might say 3%, but maybe we can get 6%, because if you use the builder's lender, then maybe we can even get any more, maybe a little bit more cash for a buy down, etc. So I still think that, like, the best, you might as well get realtor representation, especially when a lot of builders right now are paying a 2.5% to 3% co-op, meaning they're actually paying 2.5% to 3% of the purchase price to the buyer's agent. So they're the ones paying for the buyer's commission. So not always the case. There's no standard commission, but that is happening a lot. And a lot of builders are offering real estate agents, realtors, compensation for the buyer that they represent. Now let's dive into Summerlin Condos. Now, Summerlin Condos is at $350,000 for the median sales price. This is actually the same as this time last year. Now, you're going to see condos at 10 days median days on market, so less than single family homes. The reason for this is condos are more affordable a lot of times. $350,000 is a lot less than $692,000, right? And the one thing that you have to consider, though, is HOAs involved, right? And how that impacts your payment as well. But $350,000, a lot more affordable to get into Summerlin, a very desirable area, than buying a single family home. Now, homes for sale is 50, so a lot less there. Makes sense. But sales price versus list price is a lot higher. It's at 99.4%. So, buyers are basically almost paying exactly what a seller wants. And that's just because they're going to be a little bit more competitive, especially right now with higher rates. It's what people can afford. It's more affordable. The payment's going to be lower. Now let's hop into Summerlin West. So Summerlin West is comprised of a few different villages: Stonebridge, we got Red Point Square, the Paseos, the Vistas, and now we got Kestrel and Kestrel Commons coming. They've had some sales as well. So Summerlin West has a lot of, like, it does have resale and it has a lot of new construction as well. So this is kind of an interesting one because you can see Summerlin West, his median sales price is more in line with the new construction, which makes sense, but it's also higher than Summerlin in general, and that's because of the newer homes over here. So 779, 800. Now let me check what that was last year. Summerlin West. Summerlin West was 731 this time last year, so 731,000. So median sales price is up quite a bit, up 6.7%. Days on market 16, and that's down from 61. So homes are obviously selling a lot faster than they were last year. Homes for sale 101 last year was 212, so about cut in half. And sales price versus list price is 97.8%. So again, that's because of, I would say, a lot of the new construction as well. But when you're looking at Summerlin, there's a lot of different areas and a lot of different types of homes. And so you kind of really have to decide what you're looking for. If you're looking for newer construction, yeah, you're probably going to be forced to Summerlin West, Summerlin South, where they're building, and those homes are going to be a little bit more, they're going to be larger. In Summerlin West, in Red Point and Red Point Square, especially Red Point Square, and then Kestrel Commons, there's more density. So the houses are, they're still good size. You're still getting 2-3 beds, 2.5 baths, but the lots are smaller. Some are townhouses, some are condos. You really got to decide where you're trying to live. And if you're looking for new, yeah, it's going to be west of the 215. It's going to be in Summerlin West, Summerlin South. If you have questions about the different areas, the different villages of Summerlin, please let me know, because they do vary quite a bit. And we're kind of over here by the mountains, kind of away from everything right now. Very quick to get to, downtown and Costco area and all that. But, we're hoping to have the urban core going in the Summerlin West area so that we can have a little bit of vibrancy as well. So last thing I want to look at here is Summerlin West condos. So Summerlin West condos would be basically almost all new construction. There are some resales at Affinity, but as you're going to see here, even the condos in Summerlin West are higher. They're at 419, so compared to 350. Days on market's 3, so very, very competitive to get into a condo over here. Now, homes for sale 5, and sales price versus list price 100%. So, Summerlin West in regards to condos is going to be higher, just like the single family homes in Summerlin West are higher than the rest of Summerlin. Now let's dive into Las Vegas, because a lot of times people will say, man, I thought Las Vegas cost of living was supposed to be cheaper, especially when you're coming from a West Coast city. Now, I would even argue that probably Summerlin is, a lot cheaper than a lot of West Coast cities still, but those median sales prices don't really get people thinking it's super cheap to live here. Now, Las Vegas has a lot of great areas. A lot of people that move here, they think, oh, Summerlin, they think Henderson. There's a lot more than that. Sky Canyon's coming up. It's a little bit further, but it has, a lot of new construction homes for a cheaper price. Centennial Hills is a great place to live. So there's different places in Las Vegas besides Summerlin and Henderson where you can live. And really, this is what's cool about Las Vegas to me is the median sales price is $465. And compared to a West Coast city, I'm just going to relate it back to Tacoma, Washington, where I'm from. I mean, $465 gets you a 1930s house that's a 2 to 3 bedroom with a 1 bath. Here you're getting, 2,000 square feet. You're getting 4 beds, 2.5 baths. You're getting a lot more house, I would say, for $465 here than a lot of West Coast cities. Now, this $465 is actually up from $425 this time last year, though. So it is even higher now. So things are definitely trending back up, but still very, very affordable here in Las Vegas. Now, median days on market's 15. And if I can recall, that was 33 this time last year. So that's lower. So homes are going a lot faster. Now, this is interesting. The homes for sale was 2,783 this time last year, or excuse me, right now. So right now there's 2,783 homes for sale. Well, as of November 2023. Last year, November 2022, 6,290. So as you can see, again, the number of homes has been basically cut and a third in a lot of these different areas. And so that's obviously impacting what buyers can get. Now, again, I'm going to anticipate as we head into the spring, higher amounts of homes for sale, but also higher amounts of buyers. So I think the competitive level is going to kind of remain the same here over the next 12 months. I could be wrong. We'll see. We don't know what the hell's going to happen. Depends on rates a lot, to be honest. I mean, if they do some crazy shit and really drop those things, yeah, buyers are going to flood the market. Will sellers be willing to part way with a 3% raise or 3% raise, 3% rate? Letting go of their 3% rate to go after a home that they're going to have a 5% rate, a 6% rate? Depends. I think it depends on life circumstances. So time will tell. But, this is a very interesting one too, 99.8%. So basically, sales price versus list price, I mean, it's almost at 100%. So buyers aren't getting a huge discount here in Las Vegas anymore. Las Vegas condos, I like this one because this is where the affordability to me of Las Vegas really shows. $240,000 to get into a condo, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. That's great. Median days on market is 17. I don't like this. Actually, it was 31 this time last year. I don't like this 666 for homes for sale. That's down from 1,043. And then the median sales price is at 99.5%. It was 97.6% this time last year. Actually, it might be 98.5%, guys, as my notes say that. So I might have mistyped that right there. But nonetheless, condos, great entry level price point for a lot of people around Las Vegas. And it's definitely going to be your most affordable option, even with the HOA fees. HOA fees oftentimes include some utilities like garbage, maybe water and sewer, maintenance, exterior. So there's a lot of benefits a lot of times to the HOA. There's a lot of cons as well, but pretty much a lot of our newer construction homes all have HOA. They all have policies, CC&Rs, rules. So something always to consider if you're getting into an HOA as well. But guys, I hope this recap or this housing market update was helpful, gives you an idea. If there's something I can improve on in regards to basically saying what something means better, please let me know. I'm open. I want to get better at these. I just want to provide some value to you guys. And I hope that this gave you a pretty good overview of what's happening in Summerlin, Summerlin West, Summerlin new construction, and then Las Vegas as a whole. Next time, I'll probably add Las Vegas new construction as well, not just Las Vegas resale and new construction combined in condos. I'll actually include some new construction numbers as well, because there's not just new construction going on in Summerlin, it's going on everywhere in Las Vegas. All right, guys, until next time, thank you.